recommended by Bursting Out Life from the forum. It's a very forum episode.
Yeah, it is a very forum episode.
Yeah, we respect the forum.
Well, that's normally how it works, is it's like, we go in cycles of, okay, new anime's out, quickly get our impressions, then do the forums, and then review those anime, so...
We also have 3 reviews for you. We have reviews of Bardock, Father of Goku, AU Densetsu Sora no Kiseki, the animation, and Winter Cicada. Yowie!
Legit.
And we'll be back after a quick news break.
Hey all you Host Club employees out there, this is Chiaki and this is your Anime News Break. First up, for those of you who are gearing up for the Los Angeles Convention Anime Expo, they're slowly starting to release their full guest list and we are all waiting with bated breath to see who's on it. They're releasing it via their online broadcast and posting it on their website. Most recently, they've announced that the director of Fate Zero and the Garden of Sinners, Ei Aoki, will be in attendance. Aoki will participate in a meet and greet event, an autograph session, and a focus panel. The same broadcast also announced that voice actor Rikiya Koyama, who was also in Fate Zero and Naruto Shippuden, will appear at the event and will similarly participate in a meet and greet, autograph session, and focus panel. So, it sounds like if you're a fan of Fate Zero, Anime Expo could be a great con for you to attend. In other news, the award-winning anime director Mamoru Hosoda of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars has made his debut as a novelist with the Okami Kodomo no Ame to Yuki, or The Wolf Children Ame and Yuki, or just Wolf Children book, coming up with release on June 22nd. The novel is the basis for the July 21st film of the same name that Hosoda himself is directing. Both the novel and the film carry the theme of parents and children. The story covers 13 years and begins with a 19-year-old college student named Hana who encounters and falls in fairy tale-like love with a wolf man. After marrying the wolf man, Hana gives birth and raises 2 wolf children, an older sister named Yuki, who was born on a snowy day, and a younger brother named Ame, or Rain, who was born on a rainy day. When the wolf man suddenly dies, Hana decides to move to a rural town far removed from the city. If it's anything like his other films, I'm pretty sure I'm going to watch it, and I'm fairly sure I'm going to enjoy it, and hopefully the novel will be translated into English so I can enjoy that as well. Finally, as a gamer myself and a lover of Studio Ghibli, you know I'm keeping up with E3, and the video game news website IGN has begun streaming the E3 2012 English trailer for Level 5 and Studio Ghibli's Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch video game this past week. The trailer reveals that the game will be released in North America on January 22nd of 2013. I know I, for one, cannot wait to get my hands on this game. It looks like it's going to be awesome. I know we've talked about it before, but there's an English trailer out now at IGN.com, and I recommend checking it out for yourself. This was Chiaki, and this was your Anime News Break. Don't go anywhere, don't make me cry. We'll be back to the show soon.
So you want to hear people talk about Japanese cartoons?
You know, anime.
But you think the other anime podcasters just aren't nerdy enough?
Sounds like you need to join forces with the Anime World Order.
Where each week 3 self-proclaimed experts offer you reviews
of titles both new and classic, news and commentary,
rants, convention reports, interviews with fandom,
and some hentai and yaoi for good measure.
So search for anime in the iTunes Music Store.
Or visit our website at animeworldorder.com.
Anime World Order, revealing the truth about anime, one podcast at a time.
Hi, I'm J. Michael Tatum. I play Sebastian in Black Butler, and I'm a total anime addict.
And we're back
Yay!
with the 136th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast.
Continuing to make your anime addiction worse.
Oh,
I'm proud of it.
I am so behind on my animes. It is so bad.
They all just keep going.
But I am quitting my job on the 15th. That's my last day. So I will have lots of time to watch anime.
Yay!
Woot!
So, this topic is going to be good, I think.
Oh,
Maybe it'll suck.
I think we should go with the opinion that every time we do a topic, it's awesome.
Yeah. I tend to think that I like the topics we do.
Just because it's us talking.
But we're not experts on Japanese mythology, but the internet is. So, you can learn a lot of things from the internet.
And we have degrees in looking stuff up.
So, Bursting Out Life requested the topic. The question was, I would love it if you could do something on Japanese mythology and on how certain symbols, meanings are different in Japan than they are here. So, we have a list of things to talk about. Most of mine are either Japanese folklore or Shinto religious beliefs. Chiaki took a different approach. So, maybe we should start with your approach, since that's how it's numbered on the.
Well, we could go back and forth.
No.
Do it that way.
No,
No?
I think it's easier just to stick with the symbols and then go onto the mythology aspect of it.
Okay. So I kind of stuck with like a true and more like literal sense of symbolism of something, of course, standing for something else. One of the first symbol or symbolism that we kind of have, different things is lucky and unlucky numbers. And of course, here in America, we're like, oh, lucky number 7, lucky number 3, 13 is unlucky, whatever. In Japan, the number 4 is
Not so lucky.
not so lucky. In fact, if you notice over there, like, it's very common here in America when you buy something to get it in a set of 4, because that's kind of like the traditional family size, mom, dad, 2 kids.
Right.
So if you get placemats, they come in a set of 4, or it's like normally like 4 or 6 is kind of what you get it in. But in Japan,
This is not the case.
This is not the case, and Bobatsuko brings up a good point. It's also the same in China too. So some of these are not like exclusive
I believe that's because of the same
language.
written language
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
Yes. But the reason why 4 is considered unlucky, and you don't give gifts in sets of 4, and like if you buy sets of chopsticks, they come in sets of 5 and things like that, is because 4 sounds like the word death. One of the
Death.
pronunciations for it.
She.
She.
Because the word for 4 is she, or yon.
Yes.
But then the word for death is shin.
Yes.
So that can cause a problem.
Um.
Don't they also skip the 4th floor in elevators or something? Am I going crazy? Maybe that's number 13 in here.
I know it's number 13 here for sure. I don't know if they do that in Japan or anything like that.
I sort of wonder. It makes sense that the word for 4 in Japanese is strikingly similar to the word for death, but why is 7 lucky and why is 13 unlucky? I just don't know. I'm sure there's a very easy. I'm just gonna look it up. Talk.
Another number that also is considered unlucky in Japan is the number 9, because again with the pronunciation, the number 9 is sometimes pronounced ku, which can mean suffering. But you don't see that as often as the number 4, just because I think 4, you have the whole gift giving thing that comes up a lot more. And it's funny because of the whole like cross-cultural thing, but the number 13 is actually kind of somewhat permeated as being unlucky, but that's entirely a Western influence at that point.
Okay, so I have an answer for number 7. Person writes, there are 7 cosmic stages, 7 heavens, 7 hells, 7 pillars of wisdom, 7 rainbow colors, 7... In Buddhism, 7 is the number of attaining the center. In China, China, there are 7 fairies. The Bible mentions 7 circuits of Jericho. Egyptians knew 7 daughters of Ra. 7 is a perfect number and the number of completion. We have 7 main chakras. There are 7 cosmic stages we live on.
7 sins.
7 sins. 7 daughters of Ra. Maybe I already said that. Pan had 7 pipes. I don't know. There's like 7 is like the shiz, apparently.
And then one other number, just for fun with numbers while we're on the subject. Sometimes, as Mitsuki was saying, I think in Japan you will sometimes see like hotels and stuff not have the 4th floor. I think that just depends on when the hotel was built and, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's probably more like for old buildings.
Yeah. Or, of course it is the 4th floor. They just call it 4-5 on the elevator button. But one thing that does still kind of exist throughout Japan with numbers and floors is the room number 43 in hospitals, especially in the maternity section, is avoided because it can literally mean stillbirth. So you will never see a room 43 in a hospital, especially maternity section.
Why is 13 unlucky? In Christianity, the Last Supper had 13 attendants. In Norse mythology, a banquet of 12 deities was interrupted by the evil god Loki, making the 13th number of making him the 13th god.
Loki.
Metatron's cube has 13 circles, which I guess it's a magical object, and magic is often associated with evil. There's a whole bunch of these, so it seems similar to number 7.
Yeah.
It all goes back to like religious stuff.
So basically, the difference in the numbers in some is the unlucky numbers in Japan are unlucky because they have pronunciations that are similar to other words that are considered to be unlucky. Whereas unlucky numbers in America are unlucky because they have some kind of religious/historical significance that makes them unlucky. Or lucky.
Okay, so numbers. Good.
So numbers. Next, we're, doing the whole preschool thing. So now that we've covered numbers, let's cover colors.
I like colors.
Do you like colors?
I do. I like colorful things.
And I just picked 2 colors. I mean, there's a lot of, color difference, in many cultures. But between Japan and America, there's not too many striking differences between the meanings of colors. And it's funny because it's one thing that, like, when I was getting my MBA, all of the international professors were like, never underestimate the importance of color. Which sounds stupid, but they're like, you don't want to go to a business meeting wearing, a purple tie or whatever if purple means that you're inexperienced. Or, like, you don't want to wear the wrong thing to a party kind of thing.
You don't want to wear the wrong colors in the wrong part of Ireland. You don't want to wear Protestant colors in a Catholic area. What?
Do churches have colors?
Yes, they do.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes, they do. I'll look it up for you. Talk.
That's like your thing this episode.
Just talk. Damn it.
But for example, green is one of the colors that I picked out. And green kind of has a number of things that it can represent here. You got like nature, good luck, like 4-leaf clover kind of thing. But it can also be like jealousy, envy, green with envy type of thing. Okay, Mitsuki's raising his hand.
Orange is a symbolic color of Irish Protestants.
Oh, okay.
And what is it? And it continues. Green is the color for Catholics.
Yeah.
I've been to Ireland. There's a lot of fighting still, and you don't want to wear an orange shirt to a very dangerous Catholic area of Ireland. I'm just saying.
No, I believe you. I just find it oxymoronic to be like dangerous Christians. That's a whole religious discussion.
Someone in the chat said you don't want to wear red to a crypt meeting.
Yes.
I guess that's a similar idea.
That too. Actually, in the chat, honor 64. Thank you. Mentioned wearing white, that it's always neutral, but even that's not entirely safe, because some cultures white equals death as bobots go, or not even necessarily death, but it's just what you wear to funerals and when you're in mourning. So no color is safe. But,
You play it safe and you play it boring.
anyways, so what I was saying is that green, can represent a number of things, but one of the big things that green represents in Japan is it's the color of eternal life, because it comes from, the evergreens, and there's actually there was actually a big, I think it was like a Sam's Club type equivalent place called Midori, and Midori means green. But this place, it was called Midori because it was open 24 hours. So that kind of always open, always live.
Yeah.
Which open 24 hours is a big thing in Japan.
Good.
You don't really see that.
Important.
The other color I picked out was red. And the only reason why I picked this out, a lot of it's the same. You got passion, you got fire, you got vitality, energy. Of course, red is a special color in some ways to the Japanese culture because you have the sun represented in red on their flag, so it's a nationalistic color in some ways. But the only thing that I found interesting was that with the color red, in Japan, red cats, or that orange reddish color, are considered to be bad luck, not black cats. So
I don't get it. Why? What is wrong with red cats?
I don't know what's wrong with black cats. Actually, I know what the answer to that, but
What is the answer to that?
Because they're traditionally associated with witches, but I don't know why they got it traditionally associated with witches. So, but yeah,
Familiars.
Yeah.
Oh God, let's not get on to that topic again.
But yeah, traditionally in red cats are traditionally orangey cats. I think their actual technical coloring name is red.
Like Milo?
Like Milo.
Milo's is a good kitty.
But
for those of you that get that reference, Milo and Otis is actually a Japanese film. Didn't know that till my tutor told me. Unbelievable.
Did it blow your mind?
It did. It blew my face off. Okay? I guess it makes sense because in America, if you could never throw a cat into a random box and then throw the box into a river and then film that. You're like, oh yeah, SPCA would be on you so good.
And then the last symbol, the last literal symbol that I picked out for this discussion, is something that, I just wanted to touch on because as a Buddhist, it always kind of bothered me. But, there is the Buddhist swastika, and most people are they see it and they go, oh my God, there's so many Nazis in Japan. And you're like, no. But the swastika, is an Indian name.
God, it's so ignorant.
And it comes from, the Sanskrit word svasti, meaning good luck, good fortune, well-being. And in Buddhism, the swastika signifies auspiciousness, good fortune. It's also called the Buddha's footprints and the Buddha's heart. And it's said to contain the whole mind of the Buddha. And you'll see it everywhere. And for temples, temples on a map, Buddhist temples, they'll mark with the swastika. The Buddhist swastika is almost always, doesn't have to be, but 99.9 type % of the time, it's almost always clockwise, whereas the swastika adapted by the Nazis is counterclockwise. So
people won't notice that though.
But that's the thing, is it's technically different if you're familiar enough with the symbols, but the problem is that people aren't familiar enough with the symbols that they just see it and go, oh, it's a swastika, Nazis, yay. But probably not Nazis, yay.
Nazis, yay.
Scratch the yay from that. But I can't tell you, when I was in Korea with my class, and we were looking at a map because it's a symbol for Buddhism, not just in Japan, but all across, Buddhism pretty much everywhere. But some of the people in my class were like, is there a big Nazi group here in Korea? I keep seeing the Nazi symbol on maps, and I'm just like, oh my God. No. 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 So that was one symbol that I wanted to bring up, so that way people knew.
You're creating positive awareness of something that is a problem.
Yes, because again, as a Buddhist, I have some things with the swastika on it, the clockwise swastika, and I don't like tote them around because I realize here in America people don't know, but like
Good call.
Yeah. But if someone sees it, I don't want them to be like, "Oh my god, you're a Nazi," because Buddhism and Nazism are like so far apart from each other. It's not funny. Okay.
Are you an inglorious bastard?
I am. I would totally. Brad Pitt's hot.
Kill Nazis.
Yeah.
I can say that and no one will care. We're gonna be killing us some Nazis.
Yeah.
Oh no, I offended a Nazi. Oh no. Oh. Thank you, Canada Man, for that comment. So are you out of symbols?
Mm-hmm.
My approach to this, and I just sent you both a link. Hopefully you can open that while I'm talking.
You sent us a link?
I did.
Over what?
Over Skype.
Over Skype?
My approach to this next section is I basically looked up several folk tales, right? And then wrote down what I believe is probably one of the most important sections of the Shinto lore, which is the creation of Japan.
Yes.
Which is pretty interesting. I really like it, but I'm trying to figure out what the best way is to present these folk tales. The reason I sent you a link is that my first thought...
Are we going to have story time?
My first thought is that we should just straight up read them because they're short. And then I sent you a link so that you guys could do the actual dialogue while maybe I would narrate it.
Yeah, let's have story time, AAA style.
Okay.
Well, you have to open up the link first.
I already did.
Already did.
The first tale is called Little Peachling or Momotaro.
Yeah.
And I guess that I will read it. Chiaki can be Momotaro and Kimiko can be all of the other voices, of which I think there are like four animal voices and then like an ogre at the end. And
So that's me?
Yeah.
You're the four animals
Okay.
and the ogre. If we like the way this turns out, we could read the other ones.
Okay.
They're all short.
Okay.
Many hundred years ago, there lived an honest old woodcutter and his wife. One fine morning, the old man went off to the hills with his billhook, I have no idea what that is, to gather a faggot of sticks while his wife went down to the river. Don't laugh.
Old school words.
It
I
is
love
old
them.
school. The wife went down to the river to wash the dirty clothes. When she came to the river, she saw a peach floating down the stream. And you'll see this literally in the beginning of My Neighbor the Yamadas.
You know, if you had told me we were doing this, I would have made like popsicle puppets. Can we do this again?
I guess. So she picked it up and carried it home with her, thinking it to give it to her husband to eat when he should come in. The old man came down from the hills, and the good wife set the peach before him. When, just as she was inviting him to eat it, the fruit split in two, and a little puling baby was born into the world. So the couple took the babe and brought it up as their own. And because it had been born in a peach, they called it Momotaro, or Little Peachling. By degrees, Little Peachling grew up to be strong and brave, and at last, one day, to his foster parents he said,
I am going to the Org's Island to carry off the riches that they have stored up there. Pray, then, make me some millet dumplings for my journey.
By the way, that word's ogre.
Yeah, ogre.
You said orgs.
Oh.
Okay, so the old... I can read. So the old folks ground the millet and made the dumplings for him, and Little Peachling, after taking an affectionate leave of them, cheerfully set out on his travels. As he was journeying on, he fell in with a monkey, who gibbered at him and said,
Kia, kia. Bling.
One more time, Kimiko.
God damn it. Kia, kia, kia. Where are you off to, little peachling?
I am going to the Ogre's Island to carry off their treasure.
answered Little Peachling.
What are you carrying at your girdle?
I'm carrying the very best millet dumplings in all Japan.
If you'll give me one, I will go with you.
Said the monkey. So little Peachling gave one of his dumplings to the monkey, who received it and followed him. When he had gone a little further, he heard a pheasant calling,
Ken! Where are you off to, Master Peachling?
Little Peachling answered as before, and the pheasant, having begged and obtained a millet dumpling, entered his service and followed him. After a little while they met a dog, who cried,
Bow, wow, wow. Whither away, Master Peachling?
I'm going off to the ogre.
Oh my god.
I'm going off to the ogre's island to carry off their treasure.
If you will give me one of those nice millet dumplings of yours, I will go with you,
said the dog.
With all my heart,
said little Peachling. So he went on his way with the monkey, the pheasant, the dog, following after him. When they got to the ogre's island, the pheasant flew over the castle gate, and the monkey clambered over the castle wall, while little Peachling, leading the dog, forced in the gate and got into the castle. When they did battle with the ogres, and put them to fight, and took their king prisoner. So all the ogres did homage to little Peachling, and brought out the treasures which they had laid up. There were caps and coats that made their wearers invisible, jewels which governed the ebb and flow of the tide, coral, musk, emeralds, amber, and tortoise shell, besides gold and silver. All were laid before little Peachling by the conquered ogres. So little Peachling went home laden with riches, and maintained his foster parents in peace and plenty for the remainder of their lives. Source: A.B. Mitford, Tales of Old Japan.
yeah.
Woo!
Since we read that verbatim, I thought we should cite it.
Let's pick a story with easier words than ogres.
If people
What's hard about ogres?
I don't know. My mouth doesn't want to make those shapes. Ogres.
Ogres. Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Giggity giggity.
Which one are we doing next, Mitsuki?
I'm not 100% sure if we should do the other ones just because they're a lot longer.
Oh.
Just one more.
One more. Can we play
It's
one
fun.
more?
Please.
Please.
Okay.
The stonecutter? Oh, the stonecutter is long, isn't it?
It's a little bit longer. So,
The Tomcat Sparrow's short.
well, I went through them all, and I think the most interesting ones are the stonecutter and the bamboo cutter.
I don't mind. Oh, the bamboo cutter is another.
It has hard words in it.
Are they many? Are they many syllable words?
If we do the bamboo cutter, we should take turns reading the paragraphs.
Okay, we can play popcorn. Can we play popcorn?
I don't know what that is.
You never played popcorn? Did you play popcorn?
I can pronounce the word ogre. Does that count for something? All right, we'll take turns reading. We'll take turns reading the paragraphs.
She played popcorn.
That's good.
Wait. Which one is it the woodsman and the old priest?
No, it's not on that same page. You have to go back to the document and click the highlighted words, Tale of the Bamboo Cutter.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to read it, okay?
Wait. I can't find that one.
It's a link on the document.
On our outline.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, we'll take turns.
Got it.
One day, while walking in the bamboo forest, an old childless bamboo cutter called Taketori no Okina, or the old man who harvests bamboo, came across a mysterious, shining stalk of bamboo. After cutting it open, he found inside it a baby the size of his thumb. He rejoiced to find such a beautiful girl and took her home.
The size of his thumb.
He and his wife raised her as their child and named her Kaguya Hime, Princess of Flexible Bamboos Scattering Light, is what that means. Thereafter, Taketori no Okina found that whenever he cut down a stalk of bamboo, inside there would be a small nugget of gold. Soon he became rich. Kaguya Hime grew from a small baby into a woman of ordinary size and extraordinary beauty. At first, Taketori no Okina tried to keep her away from the outsiders, but over time, the news of her beauty had spread.
Eventually, 5 princes came to Taketori no Okina's residence to ask for Kaguya Hime's hand in marriage. The princess eventually persuaded Taketori no Okina to tell a reluctant Kaguya Hime to choose from among them. Kaguya Hime concocted Impossible tasks for the princes, agreeing to marry the one who managed to bring her his specified item. That night, Taketori no Okina told the 5 princes what each must bring. The first was told to bring her a stone begging bowl of the Buddha from India. The second, a jeweled branch from the island of Horai. The third, popcorn Kimiko. Oh, that didn't work.
And now it's stupid.
Oh. The third, the legendary robe of the fire rat from China. The fourth, a colored jewel from a dragon's neck. And the final prince, the cowrie, which was born from shallows.
It's amazing how many of these different items are referenced in anime. The fire rat robe, isn't that